Hey, it's BklynTye at BklynTye NYC. What's the word? Hey, it's BklynTye, and you're tuned in to What's the Word podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For some of y'all, I'll say welcome back. This is episode 6 of season 3, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, thank you to those who have been reading and sharing my blog, telling a friend to tell a friend, buying my merch, and being a walking billboard for me. Y'all have been following me on social media as well. You know, I appreciate you spreading love. It's the BklynTye way. If this is your first time, where have you been? But as always, better late than never. So I welcome you as well. Make sure you check out my previous episodes and my blogs at www.BklynTyeNYC.com. And that's www.BklynTyeNYC.com. You can also shop my merch. I have hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, double-sided totes, and more. And actually more things to come. So check it out. Support and spread love. If you're not following me on IG and X, go follow me now at BklynTye NYC. And again, that's BklynTyeNYC. And now let's get into Tie Talks.
Yo, it's Johnny Famous. I'm tuned in to What's the Word podcast. You already know what it is. Brooklyn in the building. What Johnny doing?
So y'all, April 2024 has been a doozy. Like, April was crazy. We recently lost Mr. C, DJ Mr. C, someone I had the honor and pleasure of meeting a few times after seeing him spin at various events. Like, crazy. Like, hip hop, it was another hard one. We also had the anniversary, the 3-year anniversary of DMX. I can't even believe it's been 3 years, but that happened. And then also Biz Markie's birthday, who passed, his birthday was in April. He passed July 2021. April was just like real crazy. So many things happening in hip hop. Too much to get into, so I'll leave it for like the other hip hop blogs to discuss all of the madness. But, if you're keeping up, then you know what it's about. In good news, Ashanti and Nelly are engaged and expecting their first child together. Finally, I'm so happy for them. They're definitely proof that when you set something free, if it comes back, it's meant to be. So congrats to them. I'm super duper hype about Missy finally headlining her first tour. It's her, Busta Bus, and Ciara, Timbaland, and of course they're gonna have like many guest appearances. Every state that they go to, every city, I'm sure is gonna be a lot of guest appearances and features and whatnot. So tickets are available now at Live Nation. So see where they're coming, check them out and see when they're coming to your area. I'm definitely hitting Hampton Coliseum when it comes to VA, and as well as Barclay. So I'm excited about that. What else? So before I go any further, can we talk about men wearing bonnets and flip-flops and pajamas out in public, and like women coming out with their lace front band that holds the lace front down? Like, can y'all stop coming out in public? Like, I understand y'all might be running to grab something at the supermarket, or, y'all might be running to the bank. But can y'all stop that? Please? It's getting out of control. I counted like 5 different men that came into my place of business today alone that had bonnets on their head and pajama pants and flip-flops with socks. let's stop that, please. Okay. Now, moving on. Let's see. May. So we're in May. May is, can y'all believe we're already in May? Like, we're already in May 2024. It's about to be December all over again because this year is breezing by for no reason whatsoever. May is Teacher Appreciation Week. So shout out to my daughter Miracle, my baby sister Star, my homegirl Lala, and Miss Buddington, and Miss Dr. Pope. You know, they're all teachers that I personally know. Shout out to them for Teachers Appreciation. We also celebrate in May Nurse Week. So shout out to my bestie, Shietta, and my daughter's bestie, Didi. They're both, you know, in the nursing field. Shout out to them. And of course, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up. This is bittersweet times when a lot of people don't have their moms don't have their children with them for whatever reason. You know, this is a sensitive time of the year. So sending love and shout out to all of those who don't have their mother right now. But I was also thinking about me being a mother now that with my kids being older. I think I'm so glad that I've always taken the time to have individual one-on-one time with them, like for us to do special things, because I just had a conversation with family and there was one family member in particular that made it known to his mother that they never done anything like one-on-one as he was growing up. And these are things we don't necessarily think about because as a mother, as a single mother, especially when you're just like working to pay the bills, to make sure that your kids are good and you're running them, if you have them in any extra things like gymnastics, dance school, karate, then you're running, you know, and times that by the amount of kids that you have. You don't really always think about sharing the one-on-one time to know them as individuals. So I stress to those of you who have younger kids, who are just becoming moms, especially, to just consider and always think about, as you have more kids, if you decide to have more kids, try to have one-on-one time, spending time, because your kids, you know, as a family unit, y'all might do things that y'all love to do together. But what does your child like to do when they're by themselves? So I think you have to tap into that. Like my son, he likes to go to Broadway shows. He's always been in the theater and the musical. So I've kind of invested in those type of things, spending time with him, doing those type of things with him. You know, just as an example, just something for y'all to think about. And if you don't have a good relationship with your mother, I think y'all, if it's possible, y'all should try to hash things out. It's never too late. Call her, let her know you're thinking about her. You know, like we never know when our days, you know, when our days are going to come to an end. And so that's just something for y'all to think about. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And lastly, I recently got to go to Richmond just for the day. And I ran into this young poet named Umu. She was dope. Like in the first few minutes of speaking with her, chopping it up with her on the spot, I was like, do you mind if I interview you right quick for my podcast? And she was down for it. So check that out. That's coming up next. But that's all I have for Tie Talks. And now let's get into what I'm reading, watching, and listening to.
Hey, what's up, world? It's your girl, BK Medina, and I'm chilling with my girl, BklynTye, with What's the Word podcast. Check it out.
So, as far as what I'm reading, can y'all believe I'm really not reading anything? I haven't been on my shit. I haven't been on my A game with my reading. I haven't been reading anything. I have purchased some magazines. I did purchase Essence magazine, both covers that have Usher and Damson Idris. And so, yeah, I haven't read them yet, though, but I did purchase those. As far as what I'm watching Under the Bridge on Hulu. That I didn't know before I started watching. I thought it was like a limited series, but now I'm waiting. I have to wait till next week for the next episode, but it's so good. It's about these girls that one girl, Rena, she has like a loving home. She has her mother and her father at home, but she's so rebellious and she just doesn't want them to love on her. And she kind of gravitates towards these badass girls who have like this little fake gang, and they live in like a group home. And next thing you know, Rena's body turns up missing. It's a mystery of like, who killed Rena? How did she die? It's a lot going on because when you think it can only be one of the girls, come to find out it's more people involved that now I have to wait till next week to find out even more about it. I don't even know how many episodes this show is going to have. So, but check it out, Under the Bridge. And as far as what I'm listening to, nothing much. Nothing really, just going back over. I just like listening. I've been listening to a lot of my Anita Baker. I have all of her. I have had the best of Anita Baker from my iTunes. I just been playing her on shuffle because she just puts me in a mood. Yeah, that's really it. So now, let's get into my interview with Umu. I'll be right back. Check it out.
Hey everyone, it's Monique Perry, photographer. You're tuned into What's the Word podcast with BklynTye.
All right, so now I have Umu, and let the listeners know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Hello, listeners. My name is Umu. I am from Virginia, born and raised. Right now, we're in Richmond at Moss Studios. Currently becoming a music creative. I just finished my audio poetry book, which is something that I've been working on for the past couple of years. It's been like a contemplation of like 10 poems that I've worked on, sequenced in storytelling form, to kind of give the listeners maybe an idea in their mind with my words and the sounds that I use in the background of what I'm trying to allude to. Currently, I'm finishing that up. I just had my release party that was really successful. I'm so
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. I was so nervous, and I'm so grateful and humble and blessed that God gave me the supporters that came out and listened and filled up the rooms, and I received great feedback. So now I'm working on my podcast. It's going to be about music creatives and community, and lessons. So I'm going to be talking about two different ranges of people. I have 3 categories of like avenues of how it's going. My podcast is going to be called Umu's Avenue, and that is what my music creative business will be about. And it pretty much is the idea of an avenue and a place of quote unquote misfits, underdogs, people who feel misunderstood, but everyone uniting for community and support and love, because I feel like that's needed around this time. I think that that's just what my art will be dedicated to while I work on becoming a rapper.
Okay, that's what's up. What got you into poetry?
Just being very emotional, I would say. And just like having how words can kind of, sometimes I have to let it out, and I'm someone who has to speak it. So sometimes you have to be careful with the things that you say, and learning how to write how I feel and to bring how I feel kind of like to life, I guess, kind of help me heal in a way. So it's like kind of turning something that hurts me into beauty in a way, like turning lemons into lemonade. The writing's the sugar, the honey part in it. And that's really what got me into it, of like a form of expression.
And how, like, since when? As a young child or like?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah, like it wasn't really, I was more so always into music. Music's something I've always loved since I was a child that helped me express myself. Writing and listening, which gives me like the ammo to write. So it's like, I think all the years of listening, finally, like when I was in high school and like certain things I learned in school, like in English class, like we would free write. So from there, I was like, oh, this is a nice practice. Like, I like this. I'm going to take this home. So I would free write even when I would journal. It would be free writing and this and a third. But for a while, like my hands hurt. So I started doing audio, like speaking.
Okay, yeah. That's what's up. And what do you have coming up in the future? I mean, I know you just launched your audio. Mm-hmm. You're working on your podcast, but beyond that, is there anything like are there any other future goals outside of those things?
Mm-hmm. To graduate, I'm going to be graduating college very soon, and it's been a very long journey for me.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm. That's going to be the biggest. I'm about to cry, but that's going to be the biggest. That's going to be the goalpost, the milestone for myself to feel like I've accomplished something. Once I get that, I feel like the ideas that I have, even with music and business wise, will all just come into play. Because, I need something to fund.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want to work. I want to support the community. Right now, I work in human resources. That's what I want to go into. That's what I'm working into is human resources. So I definitely want to do something for how I can help workers of America, middle class, something, an organization that supports them in any way. Feel like with the crossover of my creative dreams and my actual like corporate quote unquote life, something can come out of whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm a strong believer that there's no limit to how many things you can do. You just have to manage your time, but you can make it all work. I mean, we only have 24 hours in a day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you can definitely, trust me, you can definitely make it all work. And, I'm going to support you from now on. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah, it's for a reason. And you just have to keep going. And I say this every time, I have 3 college graduates, 1 on the way, because I'm a very proud mother. And it's never sky's the limit. And as far as lemonade and lemons, I follow Haitian CEO, and he did a post that said, from lemons to lemonade to lemonade stand.
Okay.
So
that's the word if I didn't hear one.
When you piece that out, there's so much more further that you can go. That's why I asked, there's sometimes you have to like reach beyond. There's so many things, something you don't want to limit yourself. In other words, basically, you just don't want to limit yourself. But, so as a poet, and my podcast is called What's the Word? What is a word that describes you or that you use often or that is a word that is, who Umu is?
Who Umu is? How about unique and unforgettable?
Okay. And why is that?
My name. And unforgettable because, I don't know, I guess I leave an impression.
You definitely do. You definitely do. I'm going to come. Do you have plans on like traveling to different places? Are you are you in a space right now where you can like go and do different poetry?
Oh, wow.
Things like that.
You're the first person who's asked me that and the first thought of that. I haven't thought about doing that. I'm very shy. So doing it in the booth and having the listening party, that was just like a huge first step for me that I'm very nervous to anticipate big crowds, but I'm working up to doing that. So maybe.
I have one of my best friends, Steph Love. She's in Virginia Beach and Norfolk. She does poetry. Oh. And I'm going to definitely connect the two of y'all. And, you know, you're just like a hop, jump, and a skip from here to Virginia Beach and Norfolk. So,
for sure.
And, you know, taking into consideration school and everything.
Yes.
Summer's coming.
Yes.
I will definitely put y'all in touch because you, little by little, get out there and then it'll network you to different people that's doing a lot of things that
that's so crazy that you say this because sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
You're like an angel on my shoulder because I have been thinking of doing a trip of 804 to 757.
Yeah.
So like that was a download that came to me this week. So this is like I
will help you with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely good with that. Yeah, I would love to do that because I have I would like to just set something up to get the podcast going too, the contact that I have. So it's a little crossover.
And take your audio on a little tour, like how people do book tours and introduce yourself and just always have like your elevator pitch and, or because people are like, who is Umu? Who are you? I don't know who you are.
Who are you?
And be like, I'm XYZZZ. That's why I always prefer the person I'm interviewing to let the listeners know who you want them to know about who you are.
Yeah.
Because you have to know who you are and can't know. But that's why, hey, music creative. You set your standards.
You blessed me with that because I didn't know what I was.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's what you are, a music creative.
I appreciate that.
You set the standards of who you are and you let the world know at all times. So I appreciate you taking your time to sit with me and talk right quick.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited about everything you have going on and I'm definitely we're gonna be very good friends. I'll be auntie.
Yes, ma'am. It's PT.
I will be see, look at that.
Yeah,
all right.
It's destined. And I'm so happy to meet you. And I'm so glad that you poured into me the way you did. And thank you for this moment. And I can't wait to interview you too.
Thank you. The podcast. Thanks, y'all. Stay tuned.
Bye, listeners. Hey, y'all. It's Umu here with BklynTye NYC. And we about to tell y'all what's the word. Stay tuned.
Now, how dope is she? I really can't wait to put her in contact with my homegirl, Steph Love, because Steph Love, if she can be a mentor to her, that'll be dope. Because Steph Love is one of my favorite poets and slam champions. So I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you. Don't forget to check on your loved ones. These days, we have to do this as often as possible. Life be lifing, y'all. Y'all know life be lifing. Tell a friend to tell a friend about What's the Word by sharing my blog and podcast at www.BklynTye and that's www.BklynTyeNYC.com. You can also find this podcast everywhere podcasts are available. Follow me on IG and X at BklynTye NYC. And again, that's at BklynTye NYC. Special shout out to Smiles, my homie and producer, program director of this podcast. You can follow him at SmilesTF1. Definitely hit him up if you need music work done, beats, productions, producing, etc. Let him know I sent you. Okay, I'm out. And as always, spread love. It's the BklynTye way. Hey, it's BklynTye. At BklynTye NYC. And spread love. It's the BklynTye way.